I'm Bob, and I like coffee. I also like to tell stories. Here at the Bobcast, it's time for a coffee break. So, take a coffee break with me and pour yourself a cup of your favorite Joe. By the time you're done with your coffee, you will know something about me you really didn't need to know. But you will have fun learning it. Just remember, my stories are true. For the most part. Today, I am enjoying my cup of coffee out of my Camp Cherry Valley, San Gabriel Valley Council, Boy Scouts of America coffee mug. I don't know if you have a favorite coffee mug. I thought I did, but I've got so many coffee cups. I just can't choose anymore. But I may introduce you to more of my coffee cups. But this one is a smaller size, more of a diner size coffee mug. And I've had it for quite a while. It's a good cup. So grab a cup of Joe. Let's take a look at episode number 3. Episode number 3 is the vacuum cleaner incident. This still brings up some strong emotions, so I will do my best to get through this story. Several years after my wife and I had gotten married, Linda and I were living in a house that we had bought in Southern California. And like all good homeowners, we did live a daily battle of where everything should go. We all know the struggles of having items that may be too big for your living room, or that extra bookcase that is given to you and you're not sure where it actually needs to fit, or having too many items and the kitchen just can't hold it all and you're gonna have to get rid of it. But what about the common daily needed items, that the simple and useful items that you really need? Items like a vacuum cleaner. In my simple view of the world, I know that there are several really good places to keep a vacuum cleaner. I know people that keep their vacuum cleaner in their garage. It's a good place. I know one person that keeps it in their walk-in pantry, and that works for them. But by far, the most convenient and logical place, to a Bob at least, to keep your vacuum cleaner is in the hall closet. It may not be your choice, but for a great majority of the nation, I would bet this is the correct place. In the course of life, this is where the story should end, because who really cares where and how a vacuum cleaner is stored? Well, Bob does, and this is why. One nice fall weekend day in Southern California, my family and I were enjoying the day and the weather. We had the windows open and the front door and the back door open. We had a nice cross breeze of this beautiful, cool fall day. And I believe our oldest son was already at college, so this would have only been Linda and I and our 3 youngest sons, still a house full. And we're not talking terribly young. I mean, our youngest was quite young, but I mean, we still had, junior high and high school kids. We had a good family unit, and you got to keep that in mind, that we had people who were physically capable of jumping up in an emergency. Sometime during this day, I needed to run an errand, and I believe at this time my youngest was also watching The Lion King for the 152nd time that day. What his fascination was about this movie, I don't know. All I know is that he loved this movie. A movie that was about a son who believed he inadvertently kills his father. Maybe I'm just reading too much into this. Anyway, I'm heading out to run an errand, and the family is sitting around the living room, basically engrossed into a movie that we've seen too many times. So I'm on my own, not a problem. Standing alone in the hallway, I decide, I should probably have a jacket on. It's a beautiful but slightly chilly day with a nice breeze, so a jacket seems like a good idea. Into the hall closet I go to get my jacket. Now, I will tell you, I don't put a lot of thought into the choice of jackets. I just reach in and pull. This is where I learned a valuable lesson on how to properly place a vacuum cleaner in the hall closet. So take note. You don't just roll your vacuum cleaner into the closet. The proper way is to turn the vacuum around so it faces you. Lift up the back end and move it all the way to the back wall of the closet. Lastly, make sure that there are no coats or jackets or sweaters caught on the handle. This is why. In my rush to leave the house, I reached in, grabbed the first Bob jacket that was close, pulled it off the hanger, and whap! Flying out of the closet came the handle of the vacuum cleaner. The handle was hooked to the jacket sleeve, and the vacuum was put in face first, so it could easily pivot on its wheel, letting the handle pick up speed and slam down with the force of Thor's hammer onto my left testicle. The impact moved quite violently my left testicle into the position of the right testicle, and the right testicle moved upward and came to rest somewhere around my left ear. At this moment, my kneecaps turned to jello, and my lungs ceased to function. I dropped to the floor as wave after wave of pain radiated out of my groin to the rest of my body. I would have given any information if someone asked for it just to make the pain stop, but no one was asking any questions. All of a sudden, the pain shifted and quit radiating away from my groin, and like a collapsing star, it pulled everything back to the point of impact. I caught my first breath, and it cleared my head just enough to realize I'm on the floor. I have tears in my eyes, and in my ears, I can hear laughter. That's right, laughter. My loving family, the ones I sacrificed, would fight, would die for, were all in the living room, laughing hard. Some with tears of their own, some with looks of disbelief, but not one of my loving family members could get up from their laughing fits to find out if I needed help, or to help me find where my right testicle had landed. And I got mad. And I let my family have it as much as I could. But my lungs were they were still learning how to breathe again. And I still was having trouble standing. And my voice wasn't really working very well. So I kind of leaned against the wall and I started to speak. I cleared my voice. I started to speak louder. I coughed and I took a deep breath and I spoke louder. And no matter how loud I spoke, all I could hear was my family laughing harder and harder. I couldn't take it anymore. So I turned and I hobbled slowly out of the house to the car. I was spewing a line of expletives that would embarrass sailors, words that should never have been said. The fury and the rage, it was exquisite. I sat in my car, I started the engine, and then I threw the shifter in reverse and peeled the tires out of the driveway. Well, at least I tried to do that. When I pushed down on the gas, I found my testicles, and pushing hard on the gas was just the thing to put them once again violently back into place. So now, with fresh tears in my eyes, I quietly, slowly pulled out of the driveway, and then I gently went on my way to finish my errands. Tensions can still run quite high when this story is told. And if I ever want to get an instant guffaw out of my wife, I just lean in close and whisper, "The vacuum cleaner incident." I also know that if there had been a video camera running, I'll admit it, we would have won a lot of money on America's Funniest Home Videos. But this is why you should always properly put your vacuum cleaner into the closet. I will see you next time.